Good morning, guys. Price analysis on the market today. As ever, we'll have a look at what I think could potentially happen. I mean, last video I did a couple of days ago, on Monday I did this video and I said, look, we're still in this range bound price action here, and what we need to do is get some closures. And I was saying, look, even 4 hour closures above this high range here is exactly what we're looking for, and that's happened. We have got those closures above the higher range, and we're currently just in this level of resistance around this area here, 23,400. There's a big wide gap, there's a huge gap in terms of price structure between this range high at 22,500 and then we've got this major level of resistance up here around 28,600. This dotted line here is a potential level of resistance. If you go back into the past, let's have a look on the daily time, you'll see it better. Here I've got this marked up. We had quite a few bounces of support at this region here back in December of 2020. So that's a region where we could go as well. So I've just put it on there as a level where you could potentially use to take profit. But for me, I'm still looking at the lower levels of here at 28,600. It might not happen. I mean, it could just be a push out of this range highs. It could be then a little, what do you call it, a deviation before we then do tumble back down. Personally, I think that's a very likely scenario. It could be getting some fresh eyes on the pricing. Oh, look, it's starting to push up. And then it could just dump straight back down to the EQ at 20k. I think nobody currently trusts the moves that's happening, and that's usually the case when you see something that has done this. If we look on the daily time frame and we look at price action, and ever since we've been up at 69k, every drop from here to around here, I would say, most people were expecting a bounce at some stage. And it just never, no, maybe not this area here. Let's say this area here, up to 47k. Every time we're rejected, because people were still bullish, we're expecting a price to bounce. And that was me personally, I also felt that too. Should have taken a bigger look at the grand scheme of things, but it is what it is. Price action has continued to dwindle since then, and nobody trusts that it is now going to rise. So every drop we get, up to now, has been deemed as we're not going to get anywhere. Now the bounces are going up, people believe that the price is not going to sustain it, and exactly the same happened here. We're bounced up, we're rejected. We're bounced up, we're rejected. We're bounced up, we're rejected. You get the drift. Eventually, when this starts happening, nobody will trust the pumps, and every time we start to push up, they won't believe it's happening. They'll just think, right, that's it. Let's take some profit off the table, which I highly recommend you do. But at some stage, the price will just keep going. Whether that time is now, I'm very unsure, because it's nothing to get excited about. And that's that same feeling that the market wants you to feel. It wants you to feel like it's not going to pump and leave you on the sidelines. So in reality, price, more than likely, is going to come down. And that is a feeling across the board, in my opinion. There's a few random Twitter accounts out there which are pushing for 300k tomorrow, but you get my grip. It's not going to work like that. The market will lead you down the garden path until it's completely changed your mentality to believe that a price is going one way, and then it will send it. I'm unsure if that period is now. I've managed to scoop up some decent price on altcoins like Metis, for example. Currently at $32. I think I bought at 19 around here. I bought around $19, $20. I've skimmed all my profit off the table, and then I've got my my initial in, which is pretty much averaged at around $29 now. So we're currently in profit. I'm looking to take profit up at $39, $40, but that's just an example. I've done that with VeChain, slightly underwater on that, and RSI, that's my long-term bags, which I'm slightly underwater on that too, but it is what it is. I'm happy to be underwater on some investments. So, back to the pulse, Bitcoin. We are now above range highs, which is great to see. Just be wary that it could be a potential fake out, and we'll then jump back down. If we do start coming back down towards these regions and we go back into a range, then I would look to potentially short it all the way down to $20,000, and then maybe just set a stop loss in place, lock some profit in and see if we can ride it back down to 17k. I've seen a lot of thoughts about a 10k Bitcoin, even 12k, 14k, whichever number. I think it's irrelevant. That number equals around an 85% drop on Bitcoin, which historically has happened twice from all-time highs. We've done some severe pullbacks, but remember, it's not always going to happen like that. At some stage in time, whether that's this time or in 10 years time, we'll stop doing these 85% pullbacks and we will start to diminish and get lower and lower. And personally, I think it would be a great time to bottom out here. I'm not saying a bottom because I'm not a bottom caller, but it could be a nice area here for us to really start and bounce back up, because like I say, the vast majority of people thinking, well, they have no confidence in this move and they're expecting that the price will reject and start dwindling back down to zero. That's what the overall consensus is. For me, it's tough to say. We could just go against the grain, which Bitcoin tends to do, and start really pushing up. And I think personally, for us to get excited about any move on Bitcoin, you need to be getting back above this region here, around 32k. I think if we did get back above there, you could potentially see that we are going to maybe get a move to the upside and then push on to 47k. That is a bullish scenario. We need to really start getting some closures above this region here, which I think is very unlikely. Like I say, with the macro outlook, the strength in the dollar, if we just take a look at that, it's actually been weakening a little bit, which is, I mean, look at that. On the way up, we always have pullbacks here, like a pullback, you get my drift. We always have pullbacks on the way up, and that's exactly what that could be here now. When that's pulling back, it is giving Bitcoin a little bit of relief, and if you look on the weekly time frame, I still think there's a good chance that we do push up toward this region around 120. Be nice though if we could get a drop back down towards test this region, and that would be around 103. If that did happen, I think we would have a real short-term bounce on Bitcoin that could push up towards that 28k region. With that, I think it will just be a relief bounce, and then I think we might start to push on. Nasdaq on futures and the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures, slightly up on today's trading. When that opens into the cash rounds this afternoon, let's see if we do stay in positive territory. I mean, it's 0.01% up. We might start to just push Bitcoin up a little bit, and we do start to get a little bit of a rally on Bitcoin. It will be nice if we can get that rise up towards that region that I mentioned, up to either 25k or 28k, and then we'll reevaluate from there. If we do get a sudden drop, we'll short it, because I think this is a great level to short up at, what's that region there? 28,500 would be a great region to short it. Also, this 25, 26k region too is a potential area that we could look at, but for now, things are looking better than they have done. Price is out of that range down here, and I'm looking, I'm not actually in any long or short positions on Bitcoin. I may short here and I may short here, but I'm not longing currently because I just don't quite trust that this is a major breakout yet. I think anything up towards this region and candle closures up here would be great. But that's why I'm using some altcoins, because some altcoins are performing better than Bitcoin, and that's what I've been using to make a little bit of profit in these shitty times. But that's it, that's my thoughts on the market today. If you are new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.